So it's starting a new chapter, Introduction to Parabolas, which is the graph of a quadratic function. So there's some key features we gotta focus on. So right here we can see 2.1.1 parabolas intro, and I'm just gonna go over some of those key features. This assignment is 7 questions. I think it's the same 7 questions each time. And really I just have one example here, the most difficult thing you run into. Everything else should be straightforward. So what are some of these key features? Well, one thing about the parabola, it can face up or it could face down. So if you talk about the facing, if it's facing up, it looks like a smiley face. And if it's facing down, it looks like a sad face. All right, the vertex. The vertex is either the top or the bottom of the parabola. So if you look at this part right here, this would be the vertex, which in this case would be the bottom. And over here, the vertex would be the top. Depends on which way it's facing, if it's going to be the top or the bottom. Then we have the minimum or maximum. That's really just a classification of the vertex. For this one, this would be the minimum because it's the bottom. And this one would be the maximum because it's the top. Then the x-intercepts, that's where it crosses the x-axis. Kind of the key there is that the y equals 0. And for the y-intercept, the x equals 0. And there's only going to be one y-intercept. And there it is where it crosses the y-axis. And each one of these has a context within the word problems. The x-intercept is where it lands usually, or where it hits the water, that kind of thing. And then the y-intercept is the starting point. And we'll talk more about that when we get into the context of those word problems. I forgot one more on this list, but we'll talk about that. The axis of symmetry, which is the x value of the vertex. So I need to add that to the list here, but this is the axis of symmetry. Notice you could fold the parabola over that and it'll perfectly match. So that's the thing about the axis of symmetry. So what's this one question? This is the one kind of strange question. All the others are pretty straightforward from that. But what is the x-coordinate of the parabola's vertex given the two x-intercepts? So I want to talk about that. And it goes right along with that axis of symmetry. So if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's just say these are our x-intercepts. I'm going to attempt to draw a parabola through them. That wasn't too bad. So what's nice about the vertex, or the axis of symmetry, is that the vertex, and we'll draw that axis of symmetry going right through there. So it has a symmetry with the x-intercepts as well. So what you would see here is they're actually 3 away from this spot. They're exactly, this lands right in the middle. So the x value of the vertex is the average, it's going to be the average of those two x-intercepts. You're going to add them up and divide by 2. In this case, it's 3 plus 9 divided by 2. Which is 3 plus 9 is 12, divided by 2 is 6. So the x value of this vertex would be 6. 6 would be right in the middle of 3 and 9. So if you want the vertex from the two x-intercepts, you would just find the average of the two x-intercepts, and that would be your vertex, or at least the x-coordinate for the vertex.